What a day! What a crazy match between Juventus and Milan. Milan winning by 4-2, but you take a look at the table, Juventus still remain, of course, hot favourites to win the title, especially after Lazio lost today by 2-1 against Lecce. But Gab Marcotti, this was nuts, this Juve game. 2-0 up, great goal from Rabiot. We saw Ronaldo get on the score sheet. I'm sure many Milan fans went, yeah, you know, that's enough now. And then 6 goals in 3 minutes, and then the late strike from Rebic, seeing AC Milan winning by 4-2.
It's football. This
brilliant.
is what happens. The incredible happens. I mean, this is kind of like Milan's version of Istanbul. Sort of here before once with Juventus. They played Fiorentina, I think it was back in 2013. And a young Giuseppe Rossi, of course, scoring a hat-trick. But that's ancient history. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about tonight, because Juve weren't just 2-0 up. They were 2-0 up and playing, I thought, really, really well for the best part of an hour. And then they paid a price for Milan's persistence, Milan's quality, and also, I think, some pretty obvious defensive mistakes at the back.
Right. I've got to ask you about the penalty, Gab, because that was really the big changer. That gave them a little bit of a lifeline. Handball on Bonucci, that's really harsh, isn't it?
No, it's not really harsh at all. I mean, those penalties have been given all season long in Serie A. He has his elbow out. He pushes it away from his body. He moves it towards the ball. He gains an advantage. There's no issue there. That is not in question, Dan.
Okay, all right then. What is in question is Juventus and their mentality and their defence. How did they crumble so quickly?
Well, I think you have to give credit to Milan again for being persistent, but what you saw was some really, really poor defending. I know that Rugani is going to go and become the scapegoat. Of course, he was playing because Matthijs de Ligt suspended, but goodness me, it goes beyond him. I thought Leo Bonucci had a poor game. You saw at the end, Alexandro, that wayward pass, which ended up in the Rebic goal. We saw Danilo struggle. So I think it's a whole combination of things. They just weren't able to keep the ball effectively in midfield and just basically keep Milan away from their back line. Milan they pressed higher up the pitch, and Juve's defense simply folded.
And what's crazy from Milan's point of view is that they're up to 5th in the table. Great run after the break, yet we know that Pioli is going. It's kind of very strange that this has all happened in this sequence, in that they're going to bring in Rangnick, but really, you've got to say he's got a large shoes to fill now.
Look, people going big on the fact that Rangnick is coming in. My understanding is that actually the deal isn't quite yet official, but Stefano Pioli was the interim coach. People seem to forget this. What Milan don't want to do is jump from one manager to the other, and so that's why they signed Pioli through to the end of the season after Gianpaolo was sacked. It does seem odd. For me personally, if you want the Rangnick effect, you could have him as a technical director of football type role, and get Pioli to execute. Pioli is a plug-and-play manager. He knows every system. He will do. He can play in every system. All you got to do is sell him on it. But for whatever reason, Rangnick seems adamant that he wants to be coach and general manager. And if the deal is done, like I said, my understanding is that this deal is not yet 100% signed, sealed, and delivered. Then he's going to get his way, and he's going to come in to coach with wide-ranging powers over recruitment and other aspects as well.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPNFC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.